Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to our third of 5 matches for Group E. You're watching the WePlayTV Dota 2 League, brought to you by Beyond the Summit, and this should be an interesting matchup here. Fnatic North America versus Rat in the Dark, or what I've been calling them is just Team Rat. Fnatic.NA, we saw them last game, Winter. Some, well, suboptimal decision-making, some questionable plays overall, but they're going to be up against a slightly easier opponent here in Rat. The way that the tournament format works for WePlay.TV is each group is basically a mini double elimination bracket with 4 teams. The top 2 teams, the winners bracket champions and the losers bracket champions, they advance in first and second place respectively. There is no grand finals. The teams that are not winner or loser bracket champions go home. So with that being said, no Tidehunter, obviously the favorites to take that first place. Rat and Fnatic.NA, if they lose, they're out. If they win, they keep their hopes alive, but they would still have to win one more best out of 1 to actually move out of this group. So with that being said, Rat, of course, hailing from Finland. I feel like Rat looked like the stronger team in their match versus Isurus, but we'll see if Fnatic.NA can be brought back. And now that I'm done my 5-hour monologue, Winter, how you doing, buddy?
Great, and I really like the format of this event because if you usually do group stages, sometimes, actually most of the time it happens that it comes to a situation where one team, they don't really have to finish their last game, they already qualify, or some teams going ahead like, wait, I think we get a better draw for ending up second place, we'll throw our last game. But with this format, you can't do that. You just have to win all your games and you qualify for the group. So I think this is a very good format.
Yeah, I really like it too, and the big thing is no meaningless games. So of course, I'm a little biased. We did propose it to WePlay, and it's something I've been trying to get other tournaments to do for a long time. Obviously, you get slightly fewer total games in the group stages, but I think it's well worth it. And the way it works, every time you tune in, you watch for 5 hours, you find out how a group turns out. So it's something where if you want to turn the stream on, you actually have a bit of a storyline. So I love this format. We didn't invent it, of course. I think the GSL was at least the first league in esports that I saw use it in StarCraft 2. But hey, it's a good idea, so we took it. We're using it for ourselves. So with that being said, Winter, let's take a look at this draft specifically. Fnatic.NA, they start with the Wisp Nyx ban, and the first pick went to their team. And with that first pick, they select Darkseer. They follow up with Rubik Lifestealer. So getting some very durable core heroes here. And, well, what do you think about the draft so far as Rat picks up the Gyro, Mag, and Undying?
For me, personally, I would always favor the RP over the vacuum into wall. That's because of the fact that it goes strong. It goes really well with a lot of heroes, and it's game-changing. Like what you always mention, oh my god, that RP, 4 heroes gone, game ended. Darkseer doesn't really, oh my god, 5-man vacuum, but the fight doesn't end there.
Also, Mag can actually do it at level 6 or 7. Darkseer needs to hit really 11 or 12 before he can truly have that impact. And that's a long time where you're one of your solos, your tempo controller, is at most offering a mech to the team, but nothing bigger.
And Darkseer actually fits of a different type of draft, because Darkseer is the type of hero where you pick when you want to go 5-man Dota with something like a pushing type of lineup with Lone Druid, where you just stand in front, place the wall, and the enemy team can't come close to your team. That's how Darkseer works. Magnus is sort of, he's standing in between the fight. He's finding the timing to create an opening, RP, and start the fight to your team's advantage. So Darkseer is like you prevent the enemy team from going aggressive on your team when you're trying to hit the tower. Magnus is the one to find the timing to make an advantage for your team. So Darkseer is more defensive, Magnus is more aggressive.
And he's also the scarier hero late game because, of course, like you said, RP goes through VKB. And it's a stun. It's not just an annoying, confusing ability. It's a stun. And it works equally well on everyone.
And unless there's a PL. Maybe Darkseer's better.
Maybe then. But even then, well, actually, we've seen a lot of games where PL just monoburns the Magnus so quickly that he can't even get RP off. So yeah, in that case, maybe the Darkseer is better. But kind of a rare case nowadays. And I like what Rat in the Dark did with their second stage of the draft. They looked at Fnatic.NA and they said, these guys don't really have a second strong solo. And specifically, I love the Storm ban because Storm Lifestealer, we see in the Western scene that teams aren't really punishing greedy lineups that much. They more try to counter greedy lineups by picking a greedy lineup of their own. So when Lifestealer's already on the board,
you counter the greedy lineup by being more greedy yourself.
It seems like that's the style for the West, whereas the Asian style is, you're greedy, okay, we're gonna rob you blind, mister. And well, the Storm Spirit obviously good synergy with Lifestealer, so I think that's a pretty smart
10
ban.
seconds remaining.
That's his best personal transportation.
I like Batrider, but yeah, probably the Storm's a little bit better if the game goes longer.
Very, very mobile hero. Weaver, Darkseer, these two.
Yeah, 3 very hard to kill cores. The Lifestealer, the Weaver, the Darkseer, but they only have
you know,
one...
the thing is...
Oh, go ahead.
The DPS is, if you reach the mid game, Magnus and Gyro, they're gonna be dealing a lot of damage, and the Lifestealer is gonna be feeling difficult to enter the fight because the Magnus just has to be patient. He's going to wait just for the Lifestealer because if you send in the Weaver alone, Weaver doesn't really deal a lot of damage because Weaver is more of, if he lives through the fight for a long period, the fight goes long, he deals a lot of damage with his Shukuchi, his Gemini attack, and the Swarm. But for Lifestealer, he deals like instant damage. So if the Magnus just be patient, the Fnatic team might find it hard to deal damage in the team fights.
Yeah.
If the Lifestealer is disabled.
And a hero like Undyne is annoying. Rat in the Dark, they went for the Prophet last game as their safe lane solo. They ran an aggressive tri-lane with the Gyrocopter. And this time they go Clockwork. So Spin, he played that Prophet. Now he's going to be playing a Clockwork. So it looks like a Clockwork versus Darkseer, quite possibly. Assuming that Fnatic.NA doesn't go aggressive on their own. And for Rat in the Dark, Undying, Veno, Gyrocopter, this screams an aggressive tri-lane. So if you're Fnatic.NA, do you try to dodge this tri-lane? Or do you try to fight it head-on, having the Lifestealer and the Shadow Demon?
Depends on what the team is more comfortable with. Some teams just don't mind going head-on 3 versus 3 because,
Or they could even send the Weaver into the tri-lane, run maybe the Lifestealer 1v1 against either the Clockwork or the Mag, and Darkseer could go mid, so...
Yeah, that's a possible good trade-up because Weaver with Rubik and Shadow Demon is really strong as well.
So, all right, if you're Rat right now, or rather, if you're Fnatic.NA, how do you choose to lane this?
Sorry, I can't help it when you say if you're Rat right now.
Rat in the Dark, but I mean, look at their logo. It's a rat, so I'm going with it.
Yeah, if I'm Rat right now, how would I put the lanes? Are you saying that?
No, if you're Fnatic.NA. With Rat, it seems obvious they're going to aggressive tri-lane. If you're Fnatic, do you try to dodge this, or who do you put against it?
There's few things you could do. You could put the Darkseer at top, like you said, dodge it, or dodge it with the Weaver and do your tri-lane at bottom. Or you could do a roaming. You could just ditch your Lifestealer to the jungle, do a Weaver bottom lane and a Darkseer mid lane and do a roaming dual support to pressure the other 2 lanes. It's really up to what they prefer and what they're more comfortable with, and to make the better decisions to get those better trade-offs. And for now, we can see that they're really heading bottom 3 of the heroes: Shadow Demon, Rubik, and Weaver.
So they're going to send an aggressive tri-lane of their own bottom, and they're leaving the Lifestealer top by himself. Now, this is a really hard lane for Lifestealer, and something worth mentioning is if he gets Venomous Gale before he rages, that slow persists even after you rage, and once it wears off, you're getting auto-attacked, you're taking decay spam. He could easily die in this lane. He's not as safe as you might think, but quickly, Winter, before we really dive into the lanes, we should introduce the teams. On the Finnish, on the side, the Team Finland, basically, we have Team Rat in the Dark. I take on the Venomancer, greedy name for him. Boogie on the Undying, the captain for this team. We have Sifla with the Gyrocopter.
I take your life. I take your life.
That's what he hopes. Lapiz going mid as the Magnus brushing a bottle. Pretty standard. Spin on the safe lane, playing that Clockwork, and he'll be up against an aggressive tri-lane from Fnatic.NA.
And for Fnatic, I thought you meant Rat. For Fnatic.NA, we have Smurf on the Lifestealer, Hannah Montana mid lane, this time on his Darkseer. It's gonna have a pretty decent time against the Magnus. And for bottom lane, we have Ego on the... look at what they're doing first. Ego on the Shadow Demon, F4L on the Rubik, and Mojo Stormstar on the Weaver. They're trying to pulling for the Clockwork to try to break down the tower faster.
And Weaver, gonna go for an early rain of Basilius. This will actually help them push pretty well. The issue is they can't really kill Clockwork unless he really makes a mistake, but...
I think this is a very good... it seems weird, but it's actually a very good decision because you get the farm from the neutrals, the levels, and you get the enemy creep. And at the same time, your creeps are...
Both teams are doing it! Both teams are doing it! Look at Boogie.
Yeah, well, this is like mirror.
Yeah, it's mirror
What you're
mode.
doing to yeah, mirror. What you're doing to me, I'm doing back to you. But the life stealer is, I think he has to go to the jungle further away to get some levels of
Dire's
even
top
farm.
tower is
I
under
guess the main
attack.
difference is Clockwork can do more to stop a push than
Yeah,
a Life Stealer. Life
the
Stealer can't
rocket
do
and
anything.
cock. The life stealer just okay. See you later, tower. I'm going to the jungle. Clockwork at least can spam the rockets, and the cogs can annoy the the enemy team from pushing down the tower. So if you look at the situation right now, it's definitely favoring the red team because they can hold down the tower much longer than the Fnatic team is able to if they do it right.
We'll see if they can do it right, but on that Fnatic
Radiant's
side,
bottom tower
it's
is
gonna
under
be
attack.
just very defensive play so far. Despite having this sort of these pulls going on, they're just chipping away at the tower. It's actually dropping faster. Rat's not really committed to backstabbing, so Fnatic's gonna get the first blood when it comes to towers, and now they're doing some
Look at the
secondary
clock.
pulls.
Tower is under attack.
He's gonna get Centaur
Oh my
stunned here.
God.
Oh no, it's on cooldown.
They're doing a rotation right now. I take is here at the bottom lane to take the lives of the supports. They're gonna go in, I think.
He's gonna try anyway. We'll see how easy that is for him, though. And, oh, I'm just lagging a little bit. Let me see if I can clean that up. Seems like it's still a little laggy. Give me 1 sec.
Sure. I'll just update you on the situation.
Go for it.
Yeah, for now the trade-off is because they rotated the Venom bottom lane, but the life stealer is not going to have any much of a good time, even though the Venom rotated out. But they are able to just sort of stall the push for a bit. But if you look at the tower, the bottom tower for Red has actually taken more damage than the one Fnatic. So you were actually wrong about the Clockwork being able to hold down the tower longer than the.
Well, I think the issue is that Fnatic were more committed to it than Rat. Rat only pulled the creeps once, whereas Fnatic's been doing it constantly.
Oh, look at them doing it again. Okay, they're gonna dive him, I think. TP in by the mag. Is it the mag? Yeah.
He doesn't have mana for cogs. They would be so huge here. Mag comes in, skewer, and then the shockwave. This could be our first blood. One more auto tech will bring him down, but it's actually going to be Spin. Spin dies first. F4L's still on the run. There is no mana for a shockwave. What a surge! F4L's going to live, and Lapiz may die. In fact, I think he is going to die. Oh, Winter. What the hell is this? Still F4L lives. What a nice juke by him. Meanwhile, top lane, they did kill off the Life Stealer, but still, a trade the Fnatic.NA will be happy to take.
And they lost the tower, and it was just very good rotation by the Darkseer this time. He was at the right place, at the right time to cast the surge, get his teammate out of trouble, and even get the rebuttal kill on the Magnus. And Magnus TP'd down to the bottom lane, and he got killed. That's gonna set him back very far.
Yeah, look at Darkseer, who's level 5, gonna hit level 6 off of this. Mag, just about to hit 5, so he's a full level behind. He's gonna struggle to control the runes with that tower down in the bottom lane, as Fnatic.NA supports are gonna have access to bottom rune, and Darkseer is third, so he should be able to get the top rune. We'll have to see. They did get the tier 1 in response. As far as farm goes, it's Gyrocopter leading on the farm charts, but by a relatively small amount. They get the tier 1, but then they back off, and they're not leaving anyone here to pressure the lane for the moment. I'm a little surprised it's not the Weaver, but it looks like he may be coming back. He's just at the shop for the time being.
I think he's gonna go back and just sit at the lane, farm, and probably even do some pulls just to farm even more, farm the neutrals as well. That's gonna be his job right now at the bottom. He's gonna be at the bottom lane for quite some time. And for Fnatic, they have to send support so that their life stealer is able to get something out of the lane. He just has 4 last hits right now.
Fnatic's already smoking up 5 minutes into the game. It seems early just the way this game developed, but they got the tier 1 bottom. Weaver doesn't really need help to live at this point. The only thing he's going to die to is basically a mag RP or some incredible cogs, but there's no RP on the field yet, so they leave the Weaver alone. He's also got power treads as well as the Rid of Basilius up, and in the end, the smoke gank does not work. Let's actually check the support levels, something I'm interested in right now, and well, we're looking at a very under-leveled Rubik and Shadow, mainly just the Rubik. He's only level 2. Venomancer on Undying, well towards level 3. Gyrocopter City of 5 has already gotten a Helm of the Dominator and is going to start stacking Ancients, so we're going to see some more greedy play this game.
Whoa. Whoa.
Not
Not
really
a Midas. Yeah, not a Midas, but Helm of Dominator. This is as greasy as it gets. Oh, top lane, they're going to go in for the lifestealer. Like you mentioned, the Gale hits before the Rage.
Yeah, he never actually even rages, but now he'll rage. He's still slowed, but should be fine. So they got the tier 1 bottom, now they rotate 3 top, they traded tier 1s, Gyrocopters rush to Helm of the Dominator, he's going to be stacking the neutrals, and Darkseer, as far as that mid lane goes, the one lane we haven't really talked about, pretty much dead even in terms of farm. There was the kill going the way of the Darkseer, but now Mag's level 6, he'll probably, Lapiz should have his arcane boots, he has them now in fact. What do you think about the way the game's developing?
Well, it depends on the mid game whether whose support is able to create the situation where they are able to create a gank or create more space for their carries. But if it goes like static, like everyone is farming, definitely the gyro will farm faster than the lifestealer because of the Black Cannon and what he's doing right now, stacking the ancients. But for Fnatic, they have to utilize the Roshan because they're on the Dire, and lifestealer can't really farm faster than the gyro, so they really have to rely on the Aegis to help them get some fights going on for them.
And Weaver can apply pressure to the lanes, but in the fights, I'm not really sure how much he'll be able to do. It really comes down to if he gets caught by RP. If he doesn't,
I
maybe
think he's gonna do quite a lot of damage in the fights because, like you mentioned before, there's only the RP actually to really lock the Weaver down. The other heroes are never going to lock the Weaver down. The Venom, no. Except for the Cog. Oh, he has the time lapse.
Wow, he got pushed out of the cogs. He almost ran back into them, but he's still alive. There's a skewer in. Oh no.
Got himself killed, I think. Shockwave!
No shockwave! He even runs back in. He was trying to juke the shockwave. Doesn't even try for it.
Why doesn't he? Why won't you try? You don't lose anything if you try. It's not a 1 minute cooldown spell.
Hey you, Lapiz, you need a pep talk, buddy. Oh, here comes the Glock. No longer range rocket. Not even close, but it looked good.
He TP'd back. Yeah. The Weaver TP'd back.
I didn't even look at the map. I just wanted to follow that rocket really badly, but yeah, he's back at base.
Yep. I was mentioning before why I said that the Weaver almost killed himself because he was Shukuchit. He time-lapsed and he Shukuchit and he got hit by the cogs. And he actually used his stick, that's why he popped out of the invis. He would have been fine if he didn't use his stick.
And then he almost ran back into the cogs, which I think would have killed him, but...
oh, look at the creeps. Look at the creeps. Oh my god. That's some big stack there.
Well, this is going to get Hannah Montana's mechanism in short order. That is 4 big creeps. That's a lot of gold. So early,
he's only 100 away. 100 gold away.
And a rat, even...
Oh no! They are just late. I think they know about it. He just like placed the tombstone there.
They can't kill him though. There's just no stuns. There's just the RP.
Yeah, that's why we were talking about it. How hard is it for them to kill? Actually, we can't even say how hard is it for them to kill the Weaver. It's gonna be difficult for them to kill anyone because they have to blow the RP just to kill someone. Unless the Clockwork is able to cog the guy inside the cogs. I don't really see them killing anyone that easily without using any of their big AFP spells.
Here's the other option. Just farm your Gyrocopter until he can kill everyone with 1 flat cannon. We'll see if that's the case, but he's trying for it now.
Be like 30 minutes later?
Yeah. During which time many things can and probably will happen. So, I mean, the other thing is, just not even looking at the carries. Venomancer Undying do not scale nearly as well as Rubik and Shadow Demon. So if this goes longer, the carry for Rat may be in theory a faster farmer, but the supports for Fnatic are going to offer a lot more in the later team fights.
But it depends on the situation, because during the mid-phase fights, Tombstone and the Venom Ultimate is going to do a lot of damage. So you can't really say that the supports of Shadow Demon and Rubik is much better during the fights because they are just more flexible than Venomancer and Dirge.
Eventually they'll be better though, right? I mean, it's just it might not be right away though.
If you get your daggers up and your 4-staffs up, especially on the Rubik, you've seen Kuroki, what his Rubik is able to do.
Oh man, his Rubik has been really strong. I feel like that, as well as the Puppy Keeper of the Light, when they get these two, there's just no losing for Navi. It's almost impossible.
For me, the more important part of it is the synergy between Puppy and Kuroki. That's just fantastic.
The bromance.
It's very important for both the position 4 and position 5 supports to have the same understanding, to know like some of the things where the split-second decision, like Puppy knows what Kuroki is going to do and Kuroki knows what Puppy is going to do, and they tag along so well.
And it's off.
I think you're right about the bromance.
It's the crucial, it's the secret weapon, it's the special ingredient. And right now, Fnatic is just really doing a nice job pressuring all the lanes. They're getting a ton of farm and levels on their supports. As we enter the mid-game, they're sitting on a 3,000 experience lead, only 1,000 gold lead, but their team really benefits from experience across the board. All of these heroes do. Smurf has his Midas. It's a very late Midas, 11 minutes in, but he's still going for it. And, well, the way Rat's playing, it should pay off since they're not really in any rush to force fights.
Yeah, and I think it's not too bad to go Midas right now because during the very super late game stage, you have Darkseer and Shadow Demon, and with the uncertainty of Rubik, like you won't know how much damage the Rubik will deal to your team in a fight late game because of his spell steal. He's just so unpredictable. I think going for an item like Midas, even at 11 minutes, it's not a too bad of a decision for Fnatic because mid game and late game, their heroes do scale quite decently as well, because RP, as long as they don't get the two carries RP together, I think they should be doing fine in the fights.
And they keep on trying to put pressure on this Weaver, but like we talked about, there's just no killing Mojo Stormstout. He is a stout one. And meanwhile, Fnatic, Hannah Montana creep skipping here mid, just keeping pressure up, so they're parking the Lifestealer in one lane, the Darkseer in another, and the Weaver in a third. Classic split push, and it's just not much Rat can do about it.
They're doing the right thing, right? Because Rat, look at the heroes. Like, I have to say this again. They can't kill anyone, so Fnatic can be really cocky. Just go dive behind the towers and clear out the creeps. It's just the main weakness I see in the Rat lineup right now. They just have to blow the RP just to kill anyone.
You know, it's funny, they banned the Storm Spirit because they didn't want the Lifestealer Storm Spirit combo, but they could really use a hero like Storm right now to punish Fnatic.NA.
Hannah Montana is being stopped. Oh,
he gets RP'd. Where's that skewer? Skewers him away from the tower into the Undying. He bikes. He'll TP out.
No! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
That Clockwork Hook just barely missing there, blocked by his own teammate, the Magnetar. Unfortunate. That was everything wasted, and the Darkseer just TP's away. Now the RP's on cooldown, the hook's on cooldown.
Two heroes TP'd over, they wasted the RP, they wasted the hook. Oh dear, that was so big loss for them, and Fnatic is just farming away their neutrals, the top lane, the middle lane, the bottom lane, the enemy jungle, everywhere.
It's actually looking rather bad for Rat. They're just not finding openings. The Gyrocopter is getting pretty fat, but he's going mid-game items. He's picking up a Claymore. He's going for a Lothar's Edge. He's not rushing a big damage item. He's not rushing a true hard carry item. Just looking to establish some map control. And so far, they just can't seem to get any kills.
I think Shadowblade is somewhat decent to go into the mid-game because it's actually a very good item. Like we discussed before in previous games where it gives so much attack speed right now. It's actually, even though if you think about it, you force the enemy team to get sentries just because you have a Shadowblade, and the supports are actually under so much more pressure because they have to get. Usually the supports are very poor if the game is like even.
Look at Mojo Stormstout. He dives into 4 heroes, kills off the mag, and then just waddles away, and there's nothing they can do.
Oh, the hook missed again.
Yeah, Spin is just not connecting on these hooks. They're going back in. They know that RP is in here. They want to fight right now. These prolonged fights are the Weaver's bread and butter.
Oh no.
I
thought he was gonna steal the tombstone.
Yeah, Spin caught in the cogs. Not looking good for him. He will fall. On the backlines, it's still this Weaver. Mojo Stormstout. If they could RP him, maybe he'd die, but they're just not able to catch him. And with that RP on cooldown, one by one, Rat's getting picked apart. And they're fighting 3v5 Winter. They're not even using their whole team. Darkseer's just pushing mid. Lifestealer's just farming top. When you're losing fights 4v5, and that's just not looking good for them.
And when you think about it, when you have a draft that has no stuns, you have to compensate it by having a certain hero build, a certain item build. Maybe go for Hex, maybe go for use, so that you have some form of disable. But when you look at the Rats lineup, who is going to get the Side of Ice? Who is going to get the use? It's just...
Venomancer, Undying, duh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I think they are going to get the mecha and the pipe. Maybe not the pipe, just the mecha, but when you look at the game right now, they are so far behind. If even a mecha pops up from the Undying or the Venom, it's going to be such a huge effort to do it.
I think it's not looking good for the Finns right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of it. It's because they are not exactly making bad decisions, but a lot of the issues they are facing in the game unable to kill the heroes. It all comes down a lot of it for the 5 heroes they put together, which is so difficult to take down heroes like a Weaver or a Lifestealer. It's just so difficult.
It is really hard, and that's when you have the abilities to do it, like RP and Roar and, you know, Demonic Purge, like all these really strong counter BKB, counter magic immunity skills, and they just have RP. And if they kill him, then what do they have left to deal with the Weaver or the Darkseer? Creep skipping, diving towers, pushing aggressively. The way the game's developing, Fnatic.NA, it seems like they just may have outdrafted Rat, or at least that Rat just had to have a great advantage in the lanes, which they didn't get.
And not to mention, the early little thing that Fnatic did was really, really crucial for the early elite again. Yeah, the pull into the camp, and they farmed the neutrals, they farmed the enemy creeps, and they took down the tower faster. That was actually a very good play by them.
Yeah, and Rat just lacked dedication. They did the same thing, but they only really did it once or twice. They didn't do it constantly, and that's why Fnatic got the tower first.
Yeah, and now Rubik has the Venom Plague Ward. They're gonna look to take down probably the mid tower, and after that they could proceed to the Roshan very easily because of the Plague Ward.
And they're always gonna have the vision advantage as well, so they can keep the wards, the Plague Wards up. Plus, they're gonna have a very mobile carries who just are unlikely to get caught. You only have to leave a couple heroes in the pit, say the Darkseer, maybe the Lifestealer, and the Weaver can kind of skirt around the fights, keep the lanes pushed in, and they can whittle that Rosh down pretty easily. So,
yeah. And during the fight, the Weaver can be a very good form of transportation for the Lifestealer. The Shukuchi max movement speed. That's actually quite good for the Lifestealer. As long as he doesn't just Shukuchi into a RP and they both pop out and got RP'd at the same time.
Yeah, that could be bad, but the nice thing is the Lifestealer won't actually be stunned, so he can just pop out then. We'll see. But
yeah, it's actually a very, very decent combination. It's not too bad, the Weaver, Shukuchi plus the Infest on the Weaver. It's actually somewhat decent. You can just chase down the supports and kill down. There's no escape from that.
I'm not sure what Rat does right now.
Yeah, for now, both sides are very content on just farming. But for the Rat side, I think they don't actually have a choice other than to farm because they can't really kill anyone.
Well, if farming is what they want, farming is what they will get. I think this is done stacking. Maybe one.
One more. Oh no.
I think that's it. You gotta kill it, but he's not even going for it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're being so greedy. I remember the time before Icefog changed the ancient stack where no Titan Hunter at DreamHack, they would stack 7 or 8 times and the Sven would just come over and clear everything and get like 3k gold.
Yeah, that I don't miss those days.
And top lane. Smurf this. There goes the TP. Oh, the hook!
Oh, nice hook by Spin, but pushes him out of the cogs. He may die yet. Dropping low. Down he will go. They really needed that hook. Finally, they get on the board there with an important kill on a core hero.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, and they are going to be defending their mid. I think they're going to get the deny as well. Yeah, they're going to get that deny for sure. Unless the Venom Ward gets the last hit.
Not gonna happen. Boogie's got this. Boogie's got it.
What? I just heard an RP somewhere. Wait, where? Oh, bottom. Oh dear, he blew his RP and we were just time-lapse out of it.
I don't even know what he's thinking. The Weaver's got a Reign of Aquila and a Drum of Endurance and a Magic Wand. You're not gonna kill him by yourself. You can RP a Weaver when he's got like 700 health and kill him. He's got 1200.
The Weaver was actually the one trying to kill the Mag, but he just... Well, I think he should have just let it go. Save the RP, just die. It's something like, because you're a hero, the spell has so much more... Okay, wait.
Utility in other situations.
Yeah, it's not worth blowing it to try and save your own life.
Especially in this game. Like, they don't have... Oh no, he's getting more kills. He might die here, though.
Yeah, it's something like a tide when you're getting gank. Most of the situation, it's the best option to save the ulti and not to use the ultimate to try and save your own life and you won't have it in the next fight. It's something like that.
And here's the real issue, is now they just gave away a Rosh. With RP down, there's nothing Rat can do.
They can't do anything because of the map control Fnatic has.
He's just gonna go on Smurf. He's now got his Mytho Hammer up. I imagine we'll see the Desolator next. In fact, he's got the recipe, so he's just about got it. And I'm not sure if the Gyro... Well, suddenly music.
I'm hearing weird musics.
It's just so out of the blue. Like I feel like I should be quiet while the music plays, but I can't help myself.
Oh no, it's too loud. Hold on a second, I'm changing my setting.
It's taking over your computer, taking over your life.
Dire's
They have a
middle
Blink
tower
RP
is under
available.
attack.
It's fine for me
In
now.
8 seconds, but just no opening. And now there's a Blink on Rubik, so now Fnatic can steal RP, and with Vacuum...
Here goes the fight.
There you go. Watch F4L. Let's see if he can steal that RP. If it does come out, he has already stolen something else. He gets hooked. Nice cogs, really messing this fight up. Skewer away from Lapiz. No RP just yet. Wants to hold on to it. Meanwhile, the call down comes through. Big damage being done. Weaver's actually not here in the fight, but he is scurrying over as fast as his little legs can carry him. RP from Lapiz. Nothing yet. Gets mech back up. He wants to get the Weaver as well as the lifesteal, I guess. No RP. He'll die without using it. Now the whole team's on the run. Smurf's still alive. They're going to be able to drive down spin in the trees, in the death pit. Down he goes. 4 kills and a triple for a Weaver who showed up like when the fight was 95% over. And with RP on cooldown, or with RP still up, I mean, I guess maybe they can defend their tier 3, but they're looking to lose this tier 2.
I'm actually quite surprised they lost in that situation because Red has actually a better positional advantage from the high ground where Fnatic was coming up from the ramp here, and Red has Tombstone plus Venom Ultimate and the RP
cogs as well.
Yeah, and the cooldown and the cogs. They definitely have the positional advantage over Fnatic right there.
I think the problem was that Magnus actually skewered 2 heroes away from the fight.
He didn't get his RP right here when they were all stuck in between. I'm not sure why. I wasn't paying attention there.
I mean, I just saw he skewered 2 heroes to the left, basically, but that was away from the cooldown, away from the rest of the fight. And
I was surprised they lost that fight because the positional advantage was definitely on the Red side.
Another hook, that one's gonna miss as well. And now the initiation comes in. There is still an RP though. If you're Fnatic, you want to be careful not to overextend. That's the one where you can get in trouble.
Yeah, in a bad position here, it's very the area is very congested, and the Tombstone and the RP will do a lot of damage.
And those zombies are going to work. They haven't killed off the Tombstone yet. They could bring it down so fast. There's your RP. There's your skewer. The shockwave as well. The zombies just keep on multiplying. They will not die. The Tombstone was actually stolen, I believe. Now the rocket comes out. But Smurf is in the middle of the fight. Has the Aegis, comes back to life. Triple for him. I mean, just what a clusterfuck of a fight, really. And now Boogie's on the run.
He's not going to run from this.
Ultra for Smurf. So I think there were 2 Tombstones in that fight. There was an RP, it didn't get stolen. There were cogs, and you said congested. That was like 9 a.m. on I-10, which if you live in LA basically means you don't move at all for 3 hours.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think that was very bad for Red because they traded 4 heroes for 3 heroes plus Aegis. So all in all, I think it's still alright. And considering the fact they were so behind in the goal, just because they won that fight just because Fnatic took a fight in a position where they shouldn't have taken a fight.
They did also have a buyback on the gyrocopter though, so that's a little bit of extra damage to Rat economically.
Yeah, but to me, I think that it's just a bit of a not so good decision where you're fighting up against Tombstone and the Venom and the Clockwork and the call down from the gyro in a position like this. That's not good.
It was like the best possible fight for them, basically. I mean, I don't know that they're gonna find a better fight than that right now. It's possible, but it's very hard for Rat.
Yeah.
The Tombstone was alive forever.
They are very happy to take the fight at that position.
But is it going to be enough? Smurf's up to 3.8k. He's actually out-farming the gyrocopter now, as is the Weaver. The Weaver sitting on a Manta style, and the drums. I really like this utility build on the Weaver. It's a nice change from the old-school Vitality Booster Hood into Radiance.
Yeah, that build was like so long ago. I think it was 820. He introduced it to playing Weaver like that. He doesn't complete the Vanguard because a range hero doesn't benefit much on the damage block, and you just keep the Vitality and go into a Hood and go into a Radiance.
And it was a really, that's the sort of build that we were seeing around the International 1, but the game has really changed since then. The hero pool's increased. Nice hook from the Clockwork, catches Ego from long range, scouted out by his initial rocket, but now Purge Thrown up in the air. Venomancer ult catches 3. That's going to do big, big damage. Vacuum in on 3. Into the cogs that were stolen by the Rubik and bounces them back out. I feel like I'm watching some sort of ridiculous... oh, what are those things called? God, why is the name escaping me? Pong machine? No, what is the name of those things? You know where you just like smack the ball around?
I can't help
with the bumpers? With the bumpers?
Ping pong squash?
No, what is it called? It's driving me insane now. Someone in the chat will flame me, but yeah, everyone who's been to an arcade knows what I'm talking about. You have the little flippers, you knock the ball around, you try to keep it alive as long as possible. Oh well.
Oh, on the table?
Yeah.
You mean the one playing on the... Oh shit, I know that game, man. I just can't come up with the name. That's what it was,
like they're just being like bashed around back and forth between the cogs. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Another big fight going the way of Fnatic.NA.
Yeah, it was because of the fight. They took it at a good position right now this time instead of fighting in a congested area, and fighting in the open is much better. It's actually Red who initiated by the clockwork hooking into the Shadow Demon, and the Shadow Demon disrupted himself and the Rubik came over to help him out. And from that moment on, everything went Fnatic way because they weren't able to burst down the Shadow Demon after initiating on him.
And at this point, they have a big map control advantage. They can wait for that next Roshan. Lifestealer's going back for an Assault Cuirass. He's already pretty fat. They have the Weaver minus armor coming from the Swarm, which can go up to... I mean, what is it? Like minus 18 armor or something? Minus 20, I guess, because the duration is 20.
10.
So,
yeah, minus 10.
So, I mean, like, at least 5 or 6 from that, even if it doesn't last that long. And between that and Desolator and Assault Cuirass, you're looking at, like, minus 18 to 20 armor, probably, in a fight. That's a lot of minus armor.
But I think during the ultra late game stage, Red has a very strong setup to defend their high ground. When Fnatic is trying to breach high ground, they have to try and split push and push all the lanes. I don't think they can push very easily against that if they do a 5 versus 5 on the high ground.
They're trying to put... Yeah, well, we'll see if it comes to that when the high ground attempt is made. But meanwhile, they're trying to push top or bottom lane while the counter push comes in from Fnatic. Assault Cuirass is complete on Smurf, so now at 13.5k gold. That 11-minute Midas, 12-minute Midas is paying off for them now. He has now pulled his way back into the game. And going to be taking this tower down by himself.
If it was Loda playing the Gyro...
Oh, here we go. Poke in on the Rubik. Gets caught in the cogs. Drops quickly. Call down to follow. Good damage. Explodes him. But Gyrocopter is in a lot of trouble now. He tries to run. Burned down by the Ion Shell. The Infest finishes the job. And now everybody on the run. Vacuumed into the wall. Wicked sick indeed. He's just having such an easy time of it. Now Spin. Trapped in the cogs. Smurf just doing work. Triple kill for him. They're making it easy. A great fight from Fnatic. But I just don't think Rat can tower dive like that. There's a pipe, a mech on the Darkseer. There's also a Lifestealer as a carry who's almost impossible to kill. They really need to be counter-initiating, not diving towers.
And I think they have to take fights at their towers, their high ground. They can't take fight out in the open anymore because they're behind a lot. But even if you look at the last hits, the counter, Gyro is so far ahead of everyone, but Fnatic is rich, as in the sense that everyone is rich.
Winter, it's pinball. It's freaking pinball. That's the name of it. God damn it. The chat's flaming me now, but all I cared about was remembering the name of that damn thing. If you cast as long as I have, you'll understand, guys.
Here goes the Undying. Oh, one-hitted. Oh my god.
He just one-shotted the Undying. He never dies until today. Now he dies very easily. And now the cogs just bouncing everyone around like a pinball machine. There you go.
And Hannah Montana just forced off his teammate into the cogs.
Nice RP. That's just 2. Skewers 3 back. Call down to follow. They are defending for the moment, but Smurf is still alive. He's doing good damage. Weaver's still alive. He's doing good damage. They're going on to Atake. The Manta gets popped. Man, Mojo Stormsdown is really hitting hard. Smurf's alive. That's a lot of gold. Gyrocopter will immediately blow that gold to spend on a buyback, double buyback. In fact, coming out from the Gyrocopter as well as the Clockwork, they'll defend the base for the time being. Need to dodge this rocket, but should be relatively easy.
I think they're just lucky to escape with just the tower there. It could have been far worse for them. And for Rat right now, they have to just try their hardest to drag the game out long so that the Gyro can be 6-slotted to fight with everyone, 1 versus 5 with a Divine or something. That's the only way they could win this game.
Well, he's a long way from a Divine Winter. He just got his Manta. We're 30 minutes in. He's been stacking ancients all game.
I know you're waiting for that golden sword.
Yeah, it's a long time until the golden sword, and Fnatic.NA have some great heroes to carry that sword for themselves if they should get their hands on it. Also, MKB for Modro Stormstout right now. I think this Weaver can just kill everybody almost instantly.
Yeah, after he just has to be careful not to get caught by the RP, and he has free reign in the fight. There's nothing to kill him.
Maybe if he dies the Fountain can deal with him. He could go right now, but he's worried about the rest of the backup arriving. Indeed, Lapis is in the river, he'll blink out. He's gonna just sort of chill.
Why they are still trying to fight? I think they should just hang back and keep farming. They're trying to fight.
That was not the most effective smoke I've ever seen. Spin immediately revealed, and then they back off. They're going around into the Roche pit.
Oh, are they gonna just
are they really
snipe
going
the
for
Roche?
this? They can't kill him that quickly.
Oh, they have vision. Oh, they have vision.
Oh,
Oh no, I think they know what's going on.
Oh,
I think they know what's going on.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Where's that vacuum? It's not here yet. Vacuum into the wall. That's a lot of damage being done off the bat. 2 dead. Gyro hits the deck. Venom on the way out. Clockwork Cogs.
Oh my god! Big Ruby got stuck on top.
But then he's just gonna force staff his way down. That's 4 dead. That's a Roche that should be going the way. And with that, Rat are out of the We Play Dota 2 League. The first team eliminated, unfortunately for them, but Winter, this was a very one-sided game. I don't think I've seen 5 people disconnect from a game quicker in quite a while. It actually reminds me of the International 2, when once you call GG, you are out of that game immediately.
Yeah, I think it's a different setting. The admins ended the game.
Yeah, they said if you don't leave, we're ending it anyway. But with that, Rat goes home. Fnatic keeps the dream alive. They will face the loser of Isurus Gaming versus No Tidehunter for a shot at 2nd place in the group. First place will, of course, take the 1 seed heading into the next round, as we have 7 more groups to go after this one before we get into round number 2. Those will be happening over the next 3 weeks, continuing tomorrow, and then moving forward over the rest of March and into April with that. So, Winter, we say goodbye to Rat, but really this game, they just never had a shot after those early few moments in the laning stage where Fnatic made some nice adjustments with those weird pulls that ended up working out quite well.
That's actually very effective. The only other team I've seen do that is Navi. I've seen them do it. I can't recall which game, but they did the same thing. They pulled the enemy teams creeps into the neutrals when they were trying to down the tower as quickly as possible, and at the same time taking advantage of the levels you gain from the neutral creeps, the levels you gain from the enemy creeps, and your creep tanks the tower. You're able to take the tower faster that way. That's the fastest way you're able to bring down the tower.
Too fast, too furious. Fnatic, they had the move speed this game. That's all it took. They move on. They're not out of it yet, so looking at the brackets, they are going to await the winner or the loser of Isurus versus No Tidehunter. But now we turn our attention to that match, the winner bracket finals. You're watching the WePlay.TV Dota 2 League. I'm LD, he's Winter. Stay tuned. More action after this.